President, CEO for the Greater Sacramento Economic Council, Barry Broome. Barry, welcome. Nice to have you here. So you would know, where are we with all this as far as businesses? Are we still kind of here, or are we on the road back? Where are we?
Well, we're probably still, coming down a little bit economically, quite honestly. I think the stay orders, which, we're not public health professionals, so we have to listen to the pros, are really, putting a lot of pressure on the restarting of business. But I think what you're going to find out economically, we're not going to snap back the way a lot of Wall Street executives are, but I think people are going to find out our economy is a lot more resilient than maybe people think.
Okay, that's optimistic. We like that. All right, first one for you. Question coming in. Cities across the country facing a lot of challenges and recovering from this economic crisis in terms of jobs and businesses. Reports say Sacramento will have it better than most. Do you feel that way? And if so, how so?
Well, the industry, first off, government, healthcare, food and agricultural, and construction are some of the most resilient industries right now that are holding up under the impacts of COVID-19. So that's really the center of our economy. Obviously, being the state capital, we're a top 10 healthcare market, and we've got a fairly significant food and agricultural cluster due to our heritage and farming and YOLO and woodland and some of the great work done at UC Davis. I think that is going to really favor us. I think it's one of the reasons that we're going to be resilient. Now, we are going to have a $55 billion structural deficit. So in the next 6 to 12 months, we're going to feel some pain in government. But at the time in which we're going to start feeling pain in government, hopefully the private sector side starts to rebound more aggressively. And I do think the trends that are going forward for employment are going to favor communities like ours that are mid-tiered, second-tiered communities with a lot of open spaces, a lot of regional choices for lifestyles and houses, a lot more remote working. Probably 25% of the workforce may stay remote. And I think those are things that favor our region.
Mm-hmm. All right, you've said that, next question, you've said many of the things that potential new employers like is office space. Why so? And I'm assuming we have a surplus of that.
Well, our office space is tighter than people think. I mean, one of the debates going on right now, Eric Schmidt, the former Google president and CEO, came out yesterday and said he thinks tech companies are going to need more office space. But one of the things we know that's going on with the Googles and the Microsoft is they're changing how their offices are going to work together. They used to put 7, 8 people in the 500 square feet. They're now saying that might be 3 or 4 people. So you're going to need more office. They're going to do more telecommuting. There's a spoken wheel concept being talked about to where not only are you going to have 70% of your office people in your office, 30% are going to telecommute, but they're actually going to rotate. It's not going to be, permanent telecommuting, permanent office. Mm-hmm. So, and then tier 2 offices. So the kind of real estate development you see in Roseville and Folsom is going to come back in vogue as far as 2-tiered corporate campus settings. So we feel like all that's going to bode well for us too.
Okay, next one coming up, and you mentioned telecommuting. A lot of people working from home. A lot of jobs have been fundamentally changed by all this. Can you see forecast what the job situation with telecommuting, people working from home, what does that mean for future employment?
Well, it means you got to have great digital skills. One of the things that we've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years, working with our universities on shifting a lot of their technical training towards more digital skills. If you look at UC Davis, Sac State, they offer certifications. Los Rios offers a lot of certifications. Sierra College, William Jessup has some very strong technical capabilities as well. So our higher education system's been moving in that direction. More importantly, we have to disrupt our local workforce models. We do have a challenge with certain members of our community lack access to the internet. Not everybody has computer and mobile devices. So something like an iPad is going to be how you go to work in many cases. So we're seeing things like Amazon Home, telehealth. Those jobs are increasing 600%, 1100%, when traditional jobs at the retail trade, is dropping 65%. Hospitality is down about 65%.
Yeah, understandably.
So, yeah, so that digital transformation is going to be rapid. It's going to be the new literacy. Certifications in Salesforce, Microsoft, that's going to be the new literacy for people wanting to work.
Next one, you've been working on strategies for local communities to kind of kickstart their own recovery. What specifically, and does that vary from town to town locally?
A lot of similarity between the towns. The reason we work with 20 communities is they share each other's strengths. I mean, there's certain strengths in Sacramento with Sacramento State and the medical school. There's certain strengths in West Sacramento, right, with the port. And of course, West Sacramento has very good infrastructure capacity. There's certain strengths in Davis and Woodland for the region. So the communities share their expertise and they share their assets. And how well they work together among their expertise and their assets is what raises the pace of the economy and the recovery. So each community has different assets, but you're going to see a big emphasis on retaining and expanding and restarting enterprises region-wide. Mm-hmm. You're going to see an increased commitment to business recruitment, digitalization, which these small digital companies are doing very well in our community. And I think you're going to see a big push around mobility, life sciences, but most important, I think, is going to be retain and expand the companies we have, help start build new ones, and then be agnostic from a technology standpoint, but make sure you're working with industries that are sustainable and have a big future. Okay,
Barry, we got less than a minute. I wanted to ask you about your Economic Council has launched something called Size Up to help businesses. If those businesses are watching, how do they get sized up?
Yeah, greatersacramento.com. It's an easy tool to access on our website. It's outward facing. So what Size Up is it's really kind of a software digital management consulting tool that allows a business to mine it, put in inputs, and get questions. It also allows you questions answered. Also allows you to gather data locally on the market. So when you're coming out of this, if your food service model is now DoorDash and Uber Eats,
right,
how do you market that? How do you manage that? What should your pricing be? Mm-hmm. What should your training philosophy be? Yeah, so it's a pretty interesting management tool, and it's free of charge.
Yeah, go with it. Reinventing and your guides to help them reinvent while kind of staying in the same genre. Barry Broome, thanks again. Good luck with the Sacramento Economic Council.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.